Well, if you've ever done any research on the power of laughing, the power of giggling in regards to brain chemistry, complete brain chemistry change, immune system boosting, you know that there's some really great things that happen when you're giggling, when you're laughing, when you're looking for humor, when you're looking for the fun in life. Great things can happen to every part of our existence. Self-confidence can improve. Self-love. Obviously, if you're giggling and laughing all the time, you're loving yourself, you're loving your life. And, you know, I learned a very, very long time ago about the power. My mom was one of those incredibly ultimate giggler, laugher. Oh, my God. She had the faith of Jesus, for goodness sake. And she loved to laugh and she loved to goof around. And she was the first role model about laughter and giggling constantly. But then, you know, as I started interviewing many of these teachers, gurus, guru just means teacher, by the way, from the East, I saw that it was just a natural part of their existence. Lama Surya Das, one of the first Eastern philosophers and yogis that I interviewed, he was a former guy from Long Island that became one of the top monks in the world, one of the top Tibetan monks in the world. I mean, he's just, Lama Surya Das was amazing. And during our interviews, we would do nothing but giggle. I've watched the Dalai Lama interviews, so many of his, and he's giggling like crazy. And I interviewed one of the writers of a book that he co-wrote with, and he told me, he said, well, Dalai Lama has two sides. He said one of them is outrageously goofy and laughing constantly, and the other one is dead serious. He said, so when you're around him and his energy is light, it's effervescent. He said it lifts everyone in the room. He's incredible. He giggles. He laughs. He just looks for reasons to have fun. How about you and I? I've just given 100 different reasons of why this is so beneficial. I mean, human connection. Oh my God, we connect deeply with people that we are giggling with, laughing with, right? It makes life so much lighter, as it should. And then I'm going to tell you about the interview that I did with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. Oh my God, this is one of my favorites of all time. This individual is the founder of Transcendental Meditation, which literally was one of the biggest changing points in my life in 1987 when I went through the program of Transcendental Meditation. And then it would have been 10 years later, 9 years later, 1996, I got a chance to interview Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, and it was incredible. But the one thing that I tell everyone when they ask me, oh my God, what was it like to be in his energy? What was it like to interview him? What was it like? What was it like? And I always say the same thing. The guy giggled at every question I asked. It didn't matter how esoteric. It didn't matter how deep the question was. He would giggle over everything. It was, I was laughing. He was laughing. I was laughing because he was laughing. I mean, the energy was contagious. And, you know, of course, he was a short Indian gentleman, and he had a very strong Indian accent. And I would say to him, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, what is the meaning of life? And there'd be this hesitation. Then he'd go, oh, David. And he'd start giggling, right? He'd start out with that Indian accent, and then he would just start giggling. Oh, that is so funny. And I'm sitting there thinking, this is one of the most important questions I can ask this gentleman. And he's saying it's funny, and he's laughing. That's the energy he brought to this world. And throughout the whole interview, it was the same thing. You know, he would find joy in my questions. And so many of the questions he was answering were way over my head. And they still may be today. I mean, he was just so far advanced. And I would say, Maharishi, can you give me a story so I can understand that concept that you just said better? And of course, his answer was the same. Oh, David, of course I could. And then he'd give a story, and then I would get it, right? Like, I have to learn sometimes in different ways. And one of the ways I learn, a lot of us learn, is via stories. So if there's some kind of esoteric principle or a principle I don't understand, he was able to, in this incredible, generous way, in this very humble way. And think about this. When you're always looking for a reason to smile, you know, we created a program, Look to Lift Others, years ago. And that's the whole purpose of it. Go into a grocery store, look for someone that needs a smile, give them a smile. Look for someone that can't reach something on a shelf, high or low, and grab it for them, right? Looking to lift others. That's part of this humbleness that we're trying to teach, this vulnerability. You know, to giggle and laugh at ourselves, at the goofy things we do or say, is a brilliant way to disarm our own negative, self-sabotaging, judgmental mindset. Listen, if I can help you at all, we're offering everyone a free 20-minute session on the phone with me, simply because the world is so crazy. If you need help with setting a new goal, letting go of a bad habit, whatever it might be, just go to the website, website below. And at the contact us page, send us an email and my team will set up the free 20-minute call. And then also don't forget, at the same website, we have 5 of our 16 top selling books absolutely free, which can help your attitude, no doubt about it. So grab the 5 books, text me, email me so that we can jump on the phone together. Let's look for reasons to laugh. Let's look for reasons to have fun. Let's look for reasons to smile. I'm David Essel. Have a beautiful day.